Hi guys and girls, we are sitting here in a park in West Harbour, Auckland, New Zealand, enjoying the sunshine and the green grass and the trees and the plants. It is so fantastic, and I see there's some clouds pushing up. Look like we can have some rain. This morning when I was listening to the video that Vic made of his the mistake that he made when he was still very young, that he actually defrauded the insurance company because he needed money, but with good intentions to pay it back, which he did. And then 6 years later he got arrested for that, and he had to go to he was convicted and had to do jail term over weekends for that. It made me think back many years ago in the 1960s. Something similar happened to me, but in this case I was, as far as I'm concerned, I was completely innocent. Those were during the days that we did boot camps, and we had to do compulsory military training. And I was still a very young man too. I was about 18 years old, 19 years old. And what actually happened is that at some time during, we had to do a 9 months compulsory military training. And during that time, I volunteered to do military policing, which resulted in that I had to look after some of my friends that landed in the cell because of AWOL or some turbulent happening, something they did that they're not supposed to do according to the military rules. And at this stage, I had one of my friends, one of our fellow soldiers at that time, was locked up in the cell, and I was on duty guarding over him over the weekend. But because we trusted each other, we never locked the doors, because I didn't think that it was necessary, because we were also all youngsters and we all South Africans, and we're all fighting for our country and training to fight for our country. And so I left the door unlocked like we usually do, and true as Bob, the guy took to the road. He actually escaped, and because of that I was court-martialed, and because of undermining of military discipline and all sorts of charges against me, and I was sentenced to DB. And there, it's a terrible place, because even while you are eating, you got to do mark time and exercises, and I can tell you now, that is not a pleasant feeling, and it's not an easy place to be. But that evening I was sitting in my cell, because during the night they also lock you up in the cell, and I sat there and I spoke to God, and I said to him, but why am I here? What am I doing here? I'm not innocent of anything. I actually acted out of love by not locking that gate on that guy, and I actually wanted him to return that love by not running away, but he did, and that was his decision at that point in time. But I forgive him for that. I've forgiven him a long time ago. I don't hold it against him. But like I said, I was in DB, and I spoke to God, and I asked him, I asked him, why did I have to be here? Why do I have to be locked up and go through this tribulations? Because I did nothing wrong. In my mind, I did nothing wrong. And so I spoke to God, and I explained to him, and I asked him questions, and I prayed, and I left it there. And what happened? The next morning the door opened on my cell, and the guy, his name at that time was Spike Jones. He had red hair, and he had freckles in his face, and a vicious looking guy. He was in charge of the detention barracks at that time. And he opened the door of my cell, and he looked at me, And he said to me, "You are one of the luckiest guys I've met in a long time." So I said, "But why?" So he says that for some or other unknown reason, all charges has been withdrawn from your case. The officers that did the court martial just decided that they were drawing everything from me and that I'm free to go. Here is your train ticket back to your original base where you are stationed. You can get your rank back. You got your job back, as if nothing had happened. And then I realized that God was alive, that He actually heard my prayers. He listened when I was talking to Him, and when I was explaining to Him my situation, and that I knew that I was innocent and that I acted out of love, and that strengthened my faith in God so much that up to today, it's now 50 years later, and I still remember that, and I still live by that faith. And during my life, since then, also various things happened in my life, and at times when I also counted on God to solve the problem, and every time He did. So whether you call God universe, or you call Him Allah, or whatever you want to call Him, He is a superior being, and He is in charge of this world. And that is also what we learn with the business that I'm now concerned with Empower Network, and with Big Idea Mastermind, and also with a Traffic Academy. That this is what it's all about. It's 80% belief. It's 80% confirmation of what you are capable of, and what the universe has got in store for you. And it's only 20% work to make your realization a reality. And that's why I want to convince you to go to wellforsure.com. Wellforsure.com. Do it now and see what it's all about, because it's not just what superficially what you see that's happening here in the world. There's much more promises and secrets that is in depth. And by going to wellforsure.com, you will these secrets will be some of them, and most of them will be revealed to you, so that you can start a new life, a new outlook on life, and see what it's all about. I think that it's very important that you do that. So I'll leave this with you now to think about it, but don't delay. Go and press that button now and find out what it's all about. And you will be amazed, and you will never be sorry that you did it. Bye for now.